back, folks. So it's another edition of Shaky Angler. So today we're going to be doing a rig making session. So rig making session for Flounder. Got an up and coming comp on the beach. So I'm going to make myself a rig. So I thought I'd show you guys. Now this rig is been around best part of 35, maybe 40 years. I used this when I was a teenager with my mates down our local venue for flounders, the good old days of catching flounders, 10 on plus. Yeah, loved it, absolutely loved it. But I'm using a bait safe on this rig. So some of you are thinking, oh, I know what a bait safe is. I remember those 30 odd years ago, and some of you may not remember them, but I thought I'd show you. And I really liked them. And the reason why I like them, because the venue I used to fish, there's a muddy bottom, but right before you sort of reeled in towards your feet, there was a load of bricks and rubble, really snaggy. And these bait safes really help with getting your rig up and above the water and over the rocks and rubble and all the rest of it. So, and also the added benefit, it protects your bait. So let me show you what they look like. So there they are. Who remembers those? Absolutely brilliant bit of kit that is. They do take a little bit of fettling sometimes when they're from new. You need to adjust them somewhat, which I'll go through with you and show you the things you need to do when you buy them. Yeah, so there they are. 35 years ago or more I was using these, and I found them the other day. I ain't used one of these for years, but I'm going to go back to them. Old time's sake, do like them. So how's it work? So there's the lid, put your bait in there, put the lid back down, set it all down in position. And as I say, it is a little bit fiddly at first, and it needs a little bit of fettling, and there it is. So you have your main line from there up, and your snood, and your bait sits in there. Cast out, hits the water, that flies off, out comes your bait, and that protects your bait. So when you want that nice dangly little worm towel, that saves the towel, that thing there. And also, as well, like I said, when you retrieve, it's up and on the top of the surface pretty quick, which really helps if you've got a snaggy area. So there they are. Some of you may remember, as I said, and some of you may. They do come with grip wires. So you can put some grip wires in. So I'll just quickly put those in. So if you want to use grip wires, and sometimes you do, they're not these things are not designed for places where you've got real rip of a tide. You know, there are for sort of estuaries and a like sort of thing, you know, mud banks, local mud banks, things like that. So there we go. Then you can see that. There you go. You can bend the wires to as you need if you need to grip them. If you get a bit of a tide, they will move because it's a fair bulky chunk. Also as well, you've got adjustable leads, so you can take the pin out, take the lead out, each segment. So they range from 2 to 6 ounce. So very versatile. You know, if you just want to chuck it out 20, sort of 30, 40 yards, something like that, you don't need a load of lead. You might just want, it's a quick flick. So you might go nice and light, so you feel the bite and you feel the fish. Sometimes, you know, you've got a truckload of lead in there, it sort of kills the fishing a bit, doesn't it? You know, the feel for the fish. So there we go. So it's old school and a bit of new school rigs going on this. So let me bring you closer and we'll go through how we're going to make this rig. So there we folks, there it is, bait safe. So if you do want to buy some, that's what they look like, bait safe, there's the logo. I got these from a local shop in Portsmouth called Lock Stock Tackle, but I'm sure there's other places that you can get these. So if that helps you, hopefully it will do. So there we go, there it is. So I thought I'd just talk to you a little bit in depth and more about these, really. So as I said, there's the leads, there's the pin. Hopefully you can see the pin there, and you can just pull them out as you need. The lid goes on like so, and you've got two lugs there that fit in there, and you just got to push down with your finger and then push the actual lid on like that. And also there's a lug there that sits over to make sure it's secure that end. This eye here is sprung loaded, it springs, so it pushes against the actual lid, which stops it flying off as you cast. So you can adjust that spring of a clip. If you find you're not releasing when it should be releasing when you're casting out, just adjust that, and that will help you get the lid to detach when you require. Not too early. You want it obviously detaching when it hits the water. And again, this end, the lugs here, they can get a little bit burred up and a bit rough when you go over sort of sand and mud and all the rest of it. So, you know, they may need a bit of fettling. So there is a little bit of, but when they're working like they should do, they're absolutely fantastic bits of kit. They really are. They really help save your bait. Good bait presentation. And as I say, you get that tail that you so require for flounder fishing in. Yeah, so I really like them, but they just need a little bit of setting up first. That's all they need. Anyway, there it is. So rig body, 70-pound Asso. I'm going to use nice orange. I quite like it. Doesn't affect my fishing at all, so we use that as the main rig body. Amnesia, £20 for my trace line. Aberdeen hooks, size 4. Got these from Mike from Quality Time Fishing Tackle. Very nice hooks, well impressed with them. Thermalinks, couple of 2mm beads, and some crimps. Now you may have seen these or may not have seen these. So if I put these up a bit closer, so that's a crimp at the end, but where my fingertips are, and then you see that cup. And you may have seen these, but you may have not done. But these cups are actually what they're designed for. They're for going on the end of wires, for when you crimp up electrical wires. But I use them for rig body stuff as well, because they actually cup the actual bead, which is quite nice, and it keeps it all nice and snug. And a Gemini swivel, £45. A nice little dinky swivel. So it's all about trying to keep it nice and lean, so you enjoy your fishing. It's nice and light, less tide drag. Happy days, isn't it? Happy days. Anyway, so let's make a start. So I just do about 2 foot, something like that, which is about the length of this, or I should say width of this table actually. So a couple of feet of that. Give it a snip off. Put that to the side. So Thermalink. Now you do the knot you feel you want to do. Me, I'll just do the good old turn around the line knot 5 or 6 times, and then a bit of gob oil to lubricate, say. Excuse me while I do that. Give it a little cinch up. So there we go. One Thermalink done already. I'll just knock off the tag end later on. Now, you've got your Thermalink there. You want one of these beauties next. Sorry, my fat fingers in the way. But I'll show you all the rig before we all sort it out. So that goes on. So you've got that now. Now you want a bead. then the swivel, should have probably put my glasses on this one, missed again. God, jeez, get in there. Now that's a funny one to say, isn't it? Anyway, moving on, swivels on, another bead, and another one of these kiddies. So now that's what that looks like. Crimp, bead, swivel, bead, crimp. Now you want a termalink for the other end. And you can use any other clips you like. I mean, I'm just using termalinks because I like them. Good value for money, work for me. Again, 5 or 6 turns round, straight through the eye. Job's a good one. Excuse me while I gob oil. So there we are. There's the rig. Termalink, £70 main line. Crimp, bead, swivel, bead, crimp, termalink. So at the moment it's sliding, so I'm just going to get my crimping tools and we're going to crimp it up. Now the way I've set this up, we can do this, we can have it 2 ways, and I'll show you that in a bit. So I'm just going to leave it about 2 inches away from the termalink. I'm going to get my crimping tool, crimp it up, and get the crimping tool again and crimp it up. So just going to give it a little, not too heavy, just so it just snugs up to it and crimp. And there we go. So that's what that looks like now. Give it a good stretch, make sure everything's all good. The swivel moves around, that's great stuff. So there we go. That is all nice and snug now. Now, with this, you can either clip on to the bait safe using the swivel at the lower end, so that your snood will lay pretty much flush with the ground. Or if you want it slightly higher, maybe up the rig body, then you can have it sitting further up, which means your line will be down here and your rig body, or sorry, your snood will be further up the line sort of thing, so, and further away from the bait safe. So that is the beauty of that. You can have it either way, and some venues you may need to switch it up a little bit. You may need to be further down this way, but you may need it the other way around. It all depends. I mean, it completely differs from different venues, so that's why that is a good setup. So let's get some hooks out. So again, size 4 Aberdeen Classic hook. So £20 amnesia. Again, nothing special about this really. On the tying of the hook, again, I'll just spin round 5 or 6 times and then back through the eye. Bit of gob oil, excuse me. And snug up. And there we go. If you can see that. There we go. I'm just going to take the nip end of that off. There we go. Now on these bait safe, you've got 2 little lugs at the back. So you just hook your hook in there like that, rest it down, and go to all the way till you get to your swivel, and then you can just make a cut there. Now I'm going to set this with a Thermalink on the snood end as well. Just get the scissors out of the way. Again, it's a quick turn round and back through the hole. Just get rid of all the tag ends. Let's get rid of all the tag ends on the actual body as well. So all nice and true. Now it's just a matter of clipping on into the swivel. That's clipped in like that. And then you lay your rig out. You can bait your worm up, lay it in the, what I would say is a coffin. It's a lot easier when it's hanging up, it really is a lot easier on your rod. And then you rest it, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little nick in there. You rest it, your line in the little nick. As I say, it's a little bit fiddly because of you've not got no bait, and there it is. So you can see it come out the side, resting along, and there it is. So I don't know if you can see this, but there is a little bit of slack in that snood line. But you can, if you like, make that a bit taut. All you do is to slip on you can beat like a bead, one of those silicone type beads if you like, which will tension it up, and you tension it against the body, which then makes it very tight and tensions the actual snood line as well. So it makes it very streamlined. It really does. Completely up to you if you do that. You can put beads and all sorts of stuff on there. Entirely up to you. I've even done wishbone rigs sat in the actual bait safe as well. Again, completely how you want to make your setup. So, like I said, this one's sitting up high, and you can switch it around so it goes low. So let's switch it around for low. So unclip, and it's just a question of turning it round. Clipped on, and now you've got all that snood at the bottom there now. And you just, again, rest it in, line it, get it all lined up in there, and set it up, and there we go. So there is a lot of slack there, as you can see. Hopefully, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a lot of slack. Oh, look, it's just come out. My fault. Let's put that back in. And again, as I said, if once it's on your line and it's all there, and you've got a bit of bait in there, it all sticks in there and all the rest of it, sort of thing. So it's not so bad. Just a little bit fiddly like this. So yeah, so there we go. I'll try and hold it this time. So, but once it's flying along, this snood will go back like that anyway, and it will streamline itself. So there we go. Bait safe, 2 foot of main body, and pretty much the same length of snood line as well. Yeah, there we go. very versatile setup. Just takes a little bit of time to settle in sometimes, as I said, but well worth the effort of doing that. It really is. When you're casting out and your worms are intact, the worm ends are still there, and you're getting the results of the fish and the flounders, it's well worth it. Well folks, I hope you enjoyed that rig making session. It's only a short one. It's brought back many happy memories for me doing that rig. It really has. You know, as a young boy, making those rigs. Back then, as most kids didn't have a lot of money, so one of those bait safes, they were a hell of a lot of money. And when you lost one, mate, you was in tears almost. You know, you really was. You know, you had to save your pocket money up and go and get another one, sort of thing. But they really did work and made the difference for us, sort of thing. So that's why we persevered and went and got the money to go and get another one, sort of thing. But anyway, there's me reminiscing. Tight lines, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. If you're struggling to get hold of the bait safe and you do want a bait safe, give me a buzz, Facebook, Instagram, or just a message on, and I'll see if I can help you out. So hope you liked. Don't forget, more importantly, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and any comments welcome. They really are. You may have seen why I'm called Shaky Angler. Shake a lot. Tight lines, everyone.